Epistasis. What is this? Epistasis is how the genotypes affect the phenotypes. This occurs when there's a phenotype for one certain trait that is determined by an interaction of a gene that produces more than one locus. So how can we describe what epistasis is? Well, we can use an epistasis pathway. Since I'm an animal science major, using an epistasis pathway in genetics is perfect to find out the physical trait of dog coat colors. Starting with this pathway, we're going to start with our colorless precursor, which is the white dog, Cypress. This is our intermediate. This is the brown color, which is Mason. Enzyme A is symbolized by the leash. If a gene has a dominant A, it's able to convert the colorless precursor into the intermediate. And this is our end product, which is black, shown by the black dog Max. Enzyme B, the same as our enzyme A, just shows that if there is a dominant B in a gene, then we're able to go from an intermediate to the end product. We just talked about how enzyme A and enzyme B only convert if there are dominant alleles. If they're dominant, they're capital A and B, but they do not convert if they're recessive, which are lowercase a and b. Let's do our first example with this dihybrid cross. Since this is a dihybrid cross, we're able to use our chart using the 9:3:1 ratio. Using our 9:3:1 ratio, we are able to figure out which genotype matches which phenotype. Start off with dominant A and dominant B. Since they are both dominant, we are able to convert white to brown using enzyme A and brown to black using enzyme B. So using the epistasis pathway, this is black. Since we only have a dominant A, we are only allowed to go from white using the enzyme A to brown. Using the epistasis pathway, this is brown. Here we have lowercase a's and uppercase b. Since they're recessive a's, we don't have a dominant A to go from white to brown, so we stay at white. We only have a dominant A and no dominant B's, so we are using the enzyme A to go from white to brown. Using our epistasis pathway, this is brown. Let's simplify our ratio to find our type of epistasis through this chart. Simplify our ratio, we get 9 from black, 3 from white, and 3 and 1 for brown, making it a total of 4 browns, making it a 9:3:4 ratio. Looking at our chart, we find the 9:3:4 ratio and find out that this type of epistasis is single recessive. Let's do a second example using a non-dihybrid cross. Since this is a non-dihybrid cross, we must cross this together and this together to get our main genotypes. Crossing this, we get 2 capital ABs and 2 lowercase a's, capitals B's, making it into a 1:1 ratio. And crossing this together, we get 2 lowercase a, uppercase B, and 2 lowercase a, lowercase b, making it into a 1:1 ratio. Once we have our products, we can then put it into our main Punnett square to get our results. Take a second and see if you can figure this out. Alrighty, if you did that problem correct, you got 2 blacks, 2 whites, simplifying to a 1:1 ratio. To do this, for the blacks, you have a dominant A and a dominant B. You can go from enzyme A, enzyme B, and you can get a black. For these two, they both start off with a recessive A, so you can't go anywhere but white. We have a 1:1 ratio, and we cannot look at the chart since this is a non-dihybrid cross.